All right, in this video, I want to share with you what I have learned from my first 1,000 YouTube subscribers. And get this, how long ago do you think that was? How about 17 years ago is when I started my first YouTube channel. And if you've been keeping track, YouTube just turned 20 years old. So I was basically, well, one of the OGs, I guess you could say, is playing in the YouTube playground. And well, I'm still here, but several businesses after that. And what I wanted to share with you here today is really what that did for me, but also what I learned from 1,000 YouTube subscribers. So going back to that very first channel that I started, which was all about photography. My wife and I owned a photography studio, and Scotty, who's my partner in live video school, he was only 10 years old. He's 27 years old now, but he was only 10 years old when I was doing that channel. My wife and I, like I said, we owned a photography business. And what I started doing was I started doing exactly what I do today. And that is I started to build the audience in that niche, and I started to help people on their journey in photography, whether that was them starting a photography business, whether that was getting more customers for their photography business, or whether that was editing using Photoshop back in the day. But what we were doing was we were focusing on that one niche, and we were also helping them solve a problem. All right. So what did I learn from that first 1,000? Well, what I learned, and I'm going to share that with you here today, is that you only need 1,000 subscribers in order to really make a good amount of money. Now, not just through YouTube subscribers, but through email subscribers. And that is the big thing that I want you to just kind of listen to here and hear me out on this. All right. YouTube subscribers are great. And yes, you are going to get 1,000 subscribers, and that is going to help you unlock getting monetized or getting to the AdSense threshold. By the way, 17 years ago wasn't even a thing. I never monetized through AdSense back then because it wasn't available, which actually, I think looking back at it, it was actually a good thing, because I started that channel in hopes to build a business around that niche and not about AdSense. So it was me focusing on, what am I going to do first? What am I going to do in order to potentially turn this into money or monetization? And the very first thing, there's three things, but the very first thing was audience build. All I did when I started that channel for the first 6 months was build the audience. And funny thing here is this channel right here, Live Video School, which is my most recent channel, that there is the exact same thing we did. We built this for, I think it was 4 to 6 months before we made our first dollar. All right. And it was all because all we did was focus on building the audience. All right. The audience, not necessarily subscribers, but the audience. And from there, and this is step number 2 in this, and the thing that I learned is then start building your own audience on your own platform, your own email list. That is, that's where you own that email list. You own that. There's no algorithms in your way. Think about this for a second. We have 36,000 people on this channel that have subscribed, which we're very grateful for. But I can tell you right now that we don't get sometimes 36,000 impressions in the first day. All right. Impressions, not views, impressions. And what that tells you is that if YouTube was going to show your content to all your subscribers, then you should have 36,000 impressions in 24 hours. It's not happening. So what that tells you is that we need to build our own audience on our own platform. And for me, that's email. And I was doing it all the way back then, 17 years ago, and I'm doing the same thing right now. And this is also something, by the way, I should mention, this is something that now we are following to a T because we have done it. And it's what we call our 100K roadmap. It's where we are focusing on the audience build. Then from there, we're focusing on building the relationship with that audience through email. And then from there, we're turning that into monetization, into money. And if you'd like to get access to that free resource, there's an 18-page guide we put together. We're calling it the 100K YouTube Creators Playbook. If you want a copy of that, just put 100K in the comments and we'll send it to you. Once again, 100K in the comments, and we'll send you a copy of that. And literally, it goes through not just what I learned from my first 1,000 subscribers. Yes, that's where it all started. But over the last 17 years and several businesses, some of them 7 figures, by the way, I've actually distilled it all down into this guide. So if you would like a copy of that, just go ahead and put 100K in the comments and we'll send it to you. So email list building is so important because what we do here is we build what we call KLT. That is also known as know, like, and trust. And that is so critical. And now with AI out there, my gosh, do you know if something's real or not? It's hard to tell. So this right here, being able to be real, be authentic, being able to interact with that other person on the other end of that camera is going to be super critical because trust is at an all-time low because of AI. Yes, I love AI too. But when it comes to learning from people and trusting people, this is going to be right here is going to be really, really valuable. And doing this through email is going to allow you to connect with those people even further. So building that email list, which again, we go over that in the 100K playbook. So again, put 100K in the comments and we'll send you a copy of that. All right. And the third thing, and this is another thing that I've learned after my first 1,000 subscribers, is you have to give them something to buy. All right. You can build the audience, you can build the relationship, but if you don't have anything for them to transact with, you're never going to make any money. And so, really quickly, I'd say within the first 6 months, we did create a course, and that was back 17 years ago. And that course was the thing that really springboarded our online endeavors and really allowed us to support our families now for over 17 years because we had something to offer. And we launched a course, we did memberships, we did coaching, we did lessons that people could buy, all of that stuff, but it started with one little course. And that turned into our first 6 figures, which again, we go into detail in the 100K playbook. If you're at all interested, grab that. I definitely think that you should. But you might be saying, but Scott, how do you do that with a small audience? How do you do that with only 1,000 subscribers and turn that into something substantial? Well, I shot a video right here that shows you how I was able to do it way back when, and it still works, and take that 1,000 subscriber base and turn that into $12,500 in just 3 days. Watch that video next, and I'll show you how.